Here we are. We are live. All right, it must be Wednesday. So I'm Kristen with Papapietro Perry Winery. It is Wine and Whatever Wednesdays. We gave Ben the day off again. I don't know if he's had this many days off lately, but I am joined today with Julia Papapietro. So she shares, shockingly enough, the same last name as Ben. But we had so much fun last week with Ben chatting about the pigs and Pinot, drinking the 16 Peters. We invited Julia on to kind of talk a little bit about the opinions of a certified sommelier. Am I saying that correctly? Let's just start there, because I always think I'm going to say it wrong, so I say somm.
Well, hello. Thanks everyone for joining us today. Yes, Kristen, you hit it right on. Sommelier is the term where for somebody who has studied wine, and I am a certified sommelier at level 2, currently studying level 3. So not to be confused with master sommelier. That is several more years of time invested than I have currently done. Perhaps roadmap leads there, but not yet.
I have time invested, but I have not been able to. I haven't done anything besides just drink. So that's all my education is. But while we are on here, let's pour some wine, because that's the main reason we're here. We're going to be tasting the 2017 Leras Family Vineyards Pinot Noir today, and the 2017 Dry Creek Valley Zinfandel. So Wendy Nunes is on. Wendy, I should have grabbed the 17 Nunes. I guess I wasn't thinking. Your 18's drinking great. But anyways, I have a little bit of the 2017 Leras in my glass, and normally when I pour myself a glass, I smell, swirl, sip. Julia, as a sommelier,
yeah,
kind of what do you do? I know you drink for fun too, and drink, and you're not critiquing every single nuance of every single glass, but when you pour yourself a glass of wine, take me through the steps.
So as a sommelier, and most wine enthusiasts are very familiar with many of these steps and the process, but very important to really look at your wine. We want to look for the color. We're looking for the clarity. Is there sediment left in there from aging? We're looking at the nose. So it seems kind of silly, but you're actually going to really stick your nose in there, swirl it, stick it in there again. Really look for the aromas that pop out at you, because that is what you're going to anticipate tasting on your palate. And next, of course, going in for a taste.
Always the best part, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yes, my favorite part. And I know, pushing it around your mouth, swishing it around so your palate is covered with the wine. You want to make sure it covers your tongue, gets all in your gums, and really then you have the ability to get the full sense of what the palate offers.
Oh, you do? So I just put that in my mouth. I switched it around everywhere. It is juicy. It is absolutely juicy. I'm getting it everywhere, which I love. I know with I've got a Rito wine glass. These are the wine glasses we use in the tasting room. And when you sip the wine, because of the way the glass is shaped, it goes straight down the middle of your tongue. But so I don't get it on the sides. But when you swish it around your mouth, woo! You get all those flavors. I love it. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, you feel that tingliness of the alcohol and the tannins in your mouth.
Your mouth. Saliva just goes crazy. I will say too, one thing I learned with Pinot Noir, that if you can tell it's a good quality Pinot if you can see through it. So if you tip your glass sideways, if anybody has anything they're reading, like, I got notes here. If you can see the words through it, that's a really nice way to, kind of an easier way to tell that it's a quality Pinot Noir as well. What aromas are you picking up out of this? I don't know if anybody out there is drinking this, the Leras with us, or the 17 Leras, or drinking our Pinots. We do have some similarities with all of them, but what do you pick up in the nose?
So as I look at color, I also happen to have a handy piece of white paper, but that really helps me to identify the color. And this is a beautiful ruby garnet, really, really deep red. not purple. It really is a red. And if you try, just like you said, if you try and read words, if you hold it up and try and read things through the glass, if you can read it, that's a pale, a light color. If it is darker and you can't see right through it, that is a more medium deep color. This one I think is more medium. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Don't spill it though. I screwed up.
Sometimes it's
prettier in here.
Once you get really ambitious with your swirls, you can get a little spray. So again, as you continue to swirl it, the fruit opens up, and the intensity of how far in you have to put your nose actually determines a lot. If you have to really, if you can start to smell what's in the glass from, just outside of the glass, you've got a lot to work with. You've got to stick it in there. It's not bad to have to get in there, but it does help to pick up further, more complex.
And do you smell? So, do you also smell the wines with your mouth open or your mouth closed? I always hear mixed things.
Yeah, I do both. I do an open, sort of deep breathe in through your nose, and then another one with my mouth just cracked open to get the air. And so this Pinot is delicious.
It is good. Your dad does a good job. Oh,
yeah.
We didn't say who your dad is yet.
What I pick up right away is dark fruit. So dark cherry, tart cherry, blackberry, oakiness.
So we gave Ben Papapietro the night off. I like to always say that because look who's tuning in. How sweet.
True story.
True story. Yeah, true story. We are. I'm going to claim the third daughter in the Papapietro clan. Simone's asking which Pinot are we drinking. Simone, we are drinking the 17 Leras. David's on. Cheryl's on. I love seeing you guys. Tony's on. This is great. Shelly, do you think Leras is a good example of the Russian River Valley?
Oh, fantastic. I mean, I'll start. I think that the Leras is very representative of the Russian River Valley and the way Ben makes his Pinots. The terroir, another sommelier term, the terroir, it's the ground, the earth, the climate, all is a very important contributing factor into how the grapes are grown, and the Pinot grape, especially here in Russian River Valley, flourishes. We have cool mornings, we have fog. That all is very important. We have, even though we do hit higher warmth temperatures, having that pretty distinct cold morning and then warm day is the magic. The magic recipe for the Pinot Noir grape.
And those of you that have visited us at the winery itself is located in Dry Creek Valley, which is literally maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes from Russian River. Both Julie and I are actually in Russian River Valley right now. We lived actually down the street from Ben actually lives in between us, doesn't he? We live down the street from each other, so we're both in the Russian River Valley. Again, 20 minutes maybe to get to the winery, but because of the terroir, the weather is different. The soils are different. Everything is different 15 minutes north of us, which is crazy when you think about it. So Dry Creek Valley is actually too hot. We don't get those fogs. We don't get as cool of mornings and as nights. And it gets super, super hot being in that valley, which is not Pinot Noir's favorite. Favorite climate to grow in. And if I'm correct, terroir, it's a French word, and there really isn't a word in English that denotes exactly what terroir is. Terroir is what that time and place that includes the climate and the temperature and the soil and the weather and all those aspects of that
It's an
location.
all-inclusive word. You're right.
There you
It
go.
does include all of those things, which here, we list them out. Those are all of the things that have to do with it. Also, the type of dirt. Is it dirt? Is it sand? Is it rock? Is it limestone? What was there before? What was planted in the ground there? Especially here in California, we've seen turnover from fruit trees, nut trees, now into different Pinot grapes or other grape varietals. And so that all impacts all of the goodness and nutrients that are pulled into the fruit.
Well, when Wendy was on a few times ago, she was talking about their vineyard, Wendy Nunes. So with our Nunes vineyards, she was talking about their vineyards and what was there before. And if I remember correct, it used to be an old riverbed. And when I've gone over to the property as well, I think there are like maybe 3 to 4 huge, large old oak trees on the property too. So that old riverbed adds definitely different soil. The oak trees with the roots, everything add different stuff, which you can kind of pick up. Lori's asking, how long does it take to become a sommelier? But there are levels.
There are many levels. So it really is a decision about how much time, energy, and life commitment you have to invest. Really, over the last few years, some very popular movies have depicted and showcased what it takes to become a master sommelier. And for that specifically, you're talking about somebody who is going to be living, breathing, drinking wine. You need to travel to those locations to understand the terroir. You need to pair with food and taste through. There are something like 10,000 varietals.
Right.
So,
Well,
so you can grasp all of that. That will prepare you for master sommelier. So for me, it was a little bit easier to jump right into it since I grew up in a family where we're making wine and have always had an appreciation and an understanding. Yes, that was me.
I mean, that you have to do that to make wine.
Yes, that was.
What are you doing?
I was probably 5 or 6 years old. I was Ben's first little helper in the basement in our garage in San Francisco. You guys, for followers of the winery, many of you have heard this story before, but I was his only helper, his only set of hands to assist. So as we're pressing his, very small batch, very small batch, all of the grapes fit inside that little hand press, and I would hold the strainer so that the grapes, as they were squished, didn't go into the free run juice in the bucket, and then I would cut the cake of the dried grapes, help him scoop it out into the wheelbarrow, and I would roll it out into the compost pile in the backyard, dump it there so we had the best compost in San Francisco.
And then you probably had to go to bed because it was late at night.
And then, his business day was probably cut short when I was little and had bedtime. So,
right. If you've been to the winery too, you've seen this picture. That's Julia front and center being sassy. You got obviously Ben with the beard in the back. That's Renee holding. Is that Simone?
I think that's Simone.
Your other sister, I was going to say. And Bruce is in the black shirt. Yeah, fantastic. Did you get paid for that child labor?
No, but I won't hold my breath for that paycheck.
I'm sure. Well, I was going to say that they probably didn't give you wine to drink, though, did they?
No, I do have some really fond memories, though, of our family dinners. We used to have big Sunday family dinners with my grandparents, the Italian side, and Nana. And she always supported having all of us, the little ones. Sure, if they wanted to taste wine, give them a glass of wine, and of course with water. And my mom would make sure there was water.
I believe that.
But from that early age, it was just common. It was food goes with wine, every dinner, every family meal. It was
Did you
all
like
about
the wine when you were
bringing.
younger?
I will say I didn't hate it.
Okay. So my kids won't drink wine. My kids don't. I've got 2 kids, and well, my little one probably would, but my older one's like, no, not for me. So I'm amazed that there's. You have 2 kids. Do your kids drink wine?
No, they do
No.
not.
Right.
Matter of fact, earlier as I was just preparing and opening my bottles, they both wanted to smell and sip, and I let them smell, and I let them put a little drop on their tongue, and they were both disgusted. So then they ran away, and they were over that.
No offense, Ben. Your wines are delicious. Our kids are clueless. Is clearly what that tells me. Going back to the sommelier aspect too, if you do want to see a little more, the movie Somm is a phenomenal, great movie. It kind of follows X amount of people, right, as they are becoming master somms, and it really is. You said eat, drink, breathe. It really is a it's quite an intense commitment. Yes.
Yeah.
And so I am a single mom with 2 kids. I have a full-time job. Obviously, you guys see how hard I work. You have a full-time job. You have 2 kids. How did you find the time to do this?
Yeah, luckily nowadays, even this was pre-COVID, I was able to do an online study program. So I think actually that it was almost harder because I had to make time to study and actually make time to commit to reading through materials and the amount of geography and memorization required.
Right.
But it was a wake-up call. I have been out of college for many, many years, and having to, that self-study program.
You probably had some great people helping you study.
I did.
That's exactly what I'm guessing. Oh, hold on. I may have a picture. What?
Yes.
That's Dan from the back office. Look at that.
So definitely one of the benefits of studying is that you have to open a lot of bottles of wine, which
was that night, if I'm correct.
That was just one day, one afternoon, evening of drinking through my suggested curriculum. So
it's curriculum.
It's curriculum. So curriculum becomes social activity, and of course, what better way to help yourself get acquainted with memorization and talking through the wines and what you're experiencing than doing it with friends and bringing in other wine enthusiasts.
When I was trying to be supportive, the best way I know how, if anybody wants to study and needs a study partner, that just tells you I'm available. Yeah, Julia will come too. So we're happy to help you. Just let us know. Hey, Ron's on. Ron, I was wondering where you were. No, I'm kidding. Patrick's on too. You guys are awesome. Ben's telling us that basket apple press came from Bert Williams. Williams and Celium? I never know how to say it.
Celium. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Now that thing is archaic, but that was the top of the line. It did the job, and it was perfect for what amount we were able to produce in the garage in San Francisco, with just a couple of people supporting that effort.
No, that's awesome. I think it's awesome. Well, let's go on to the Zin, because we've got the Zin to open too, which I thought it'd be fun having Julia on to pick 2 of our varietals to showcase. Obviously, our Pinot Noir is Papapietro Perry's passion and love. We make 10 of them after all. And we also do, of course, a little bit of Zin, a little bit of Chardonnay, a little bit of Rosé, and we did sparkling one year. But this is our 2017 Dry Creek Valley Zin. I was talking earlier about the whole fact that Russian River is a little too cool. Dry Creek Valley is a little too warm and hot for Pinot Noir, at least the Pinot Noir we like to make. But Dry Creek Valley is very much known for their Zinfandel. And Dry Creek Valley is known for usually big fruit forward, meaning fruity, right? Big fruit forward, high alcohol Zins. The Zin we produce, and Julia's going to kind of take us through this in a second, but we do produce our Zin in we make it like we do our Pinot Noir. So it'd be like having a bunch of dogs and you get a cat. The cat now thinks it's a dog, right? Our Zinfandel, it's a little bit of that lighter style. It's not big, massive fruit. It's not big, massive pepper and whatnot. It's actually a really easy, food-friendly drinking Zinfandel. Ron was letting me know he was cooking and washing dishes after dinner. Ron, you have to tell us what you cooked and what you're drinking as well. Cooking-wise, Zin's beautiful, right? Summer barbecue. You kind of associate this with the outside grill. But 2017 Dry Creek Valley Zin. Julia, take it away.
All right. So first, the color is, I'd say garnet, deep red, deep garnet, ruby, leaning towards garnet. Again, it's red, not purple. The intensity is dark. I would say I cannot see the words on paper here next to my desk.
Definitely darker. Oh, Kay's on. Hi, Kay. I'm thrilled. Now I cannot see the words through it.
Nope. So that's a deep intensity. And then as we prepare to talk about the palate and the nose, just swirling it to get the air and open it up. Okay, I'm excited about this one.
It's beautiful.
Wow. Yeah, this one is
that's nice.
It's got a great palate, great aromas.
Yeah, Marjorie's saying it's been a while since she's had her Zin, so I added it to my Mukaida allocation. Good job, Marjorie. I think that's smart. With our wine club, our wine club is always all reds, but you can pick Pinot Noir only, which means we produce one Zinfandel. It comes out in the fall. We used to produce 2 or 3, but the one Zin comes out in the fall. And I think when you come visit us, people forget we produce a Zin if they only get the Pinot Noir, and then they have the Zin and they're like, this is delicious, but take me off that Pinot Noir stuff and put me on, because our Zin is approachable. Wendy Nunez just said, she's a Pinot Noir fan, but she loves our Zin, and I agree. I got off Zins for a while. There's a thing called ZAP, Zinfandel Advocate Producer Show. There's like 280 Zinfandel producers in San Francisco. You go try their wines, and you can get zinned out very quickly. But Ben has brought me back to Zin as well, because this is just an easy, approachable Zin. It's not big and in your face. Sandra's on, Julia.
Hi guys.
Sandra Herrera. You got a couple fans on here, by the way. I should put their names up. Sorry. It's good.
Well, I like this Zin because it's different. It's distinctly different than the Pinot, but it has a lot of the same essences. Again, I'm picking up dark fruit, dark plum, dark cherry. This would be paired deliciously with a steak or pasta.
I was just going to ask you that. I was just going to say, you guys cook. You're a cooking family as well. And what are some, what are some pairings you would put with either that Pinot or the Zin? Drinking the Zin, is your mind all of a sudden wheelhousing into these recipes?
It is. I all of a sudden just got really hungry and started thinking about what's coming up for dinner and how this would go with so many things. But, there's a lot of stereotypes that are out there for, and I'll debunk them just for a moment. White wine doesn't need to go with fish. And a lot of people have that assumption that if you're having fish, you must have a white. Obviously, delicious. Highly would recommend. But Pinot or the Zin, any of the Papapietro wines really are so diverse in flavor that it can be paired really well with lamb chops. Favorite.
We love lamb.
It's barbecue season, a ribeye on the grill. We actually had salmon last night. We had a Chardonnay.
Where did you get the salmon?
My husband and the boys, actually Marcello, went fishing and caught us a good catch. So
I saw the pictures on Ben's Facebook.
Yeah, you can check them out on Facebook. But this would also go really well with a light summer pasta. you name it. I can't.
Yeah, I do. I do think that old adage of white with fish, red with red meat doesn't necessarily go. I remember I was doing some research a while ago with Pinot Noir because they're saying, salmon, duck, pork, those are your go-to, some lamb. But the Pinot Noir, the Zins, our Zins a little lighter style, go amazing with great cuts of beef that have some of that fat, like some of those ribeyes and New York strips, because it can hold up. Marjorie, in my mind, red wine goes with everything. Marjorie, I'm right there with you. I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Y'all know I'm not.
What you look for that pairing too is the acidity. If you're doing a high acidity wine, you're not going to. If you think of lemon, if you were to squeeze lemon and oil in milk, you don't want to really mix the creams and the high acidity like that. Creams, but with the meat, it's beautiful. A match made in heaven.
It is beautiful. Shelley's asking what our oak program is on the Zin, and we usually keep the Zin on oak about 18 months. Our Pinots are about 11 months, so our Zin is a little bit longer. But our Zin sits in the same oak that our Pinot does, which is the Francois Fer barrels, and those are more popular among Pinot producers because those pull out the different aspects that the Pinot producers want in their wine. So us kind of making the Pinot Noir, making the Zinfandel, a little bit similar in the Pinot style, brings about that lighter, and you get some of those nice lighter red fruits in the palate that I'm
also like a toasty oak.
Oh, let's see. Frankie's drinking the 14 Campbell Ranch. Delicious. Should sell it for at least 2 years. Yeah, but you're drinking it now, which I love, and delicious and amazing. So your dad made a comment a little while ago that you and I are drinking buddies, and Ben, to be clear, that's all to do better at our jobs and our schooling. We don't get that much pleasure from it. Let's be real. Actually, we do. Who am I kidding? But Julia and I also, Julia has 2 boys. I have 2 boys. I live down the street from them, so our kids get along fabulously, and we've traveled. So just to bore everyone, because I'm a mom and I show pictures, I just want to throw up a couple pictures of our boys. I'm pretty sure in these pictures the moms were at the bar, but here's all 4 of our boys. We actually took them to Atlantis last year on a cruise. Not quite as fancy as a cruise as the winery itself goes on, but we couldn't bring any wine with us, but we brought swag. So look at us with our hats.
So there's our Papapietro Perry hats.
Yeah, Papapietro Perry came to Atlantis. Here's all 4 boys cheersing the cruise squad. There they are. And then we took in an Orlando soccer match. So my cousin's one of the photographers. It was fantastic, but there's all of us. Oh, and my sister's over there in the crazy dress. Fantastic time. We have so much fun all traveling together and hanging out together. And yes, we brought wine with us. And yes, I'm always happy to meet club members out on the road. We've actually had some phenomenal times. Yes, Wendy Nunez, you're correct. This is called research that Julie and I do. Commonly.
We take it very seriously.
Yes. And the one thing I have learned about wine, the more you know, the more you learn, the less you actually know. So like you were talking with the 10,000 plus varietals and the geography. So I think that's when you had said a while ago, you're lucky you've been able to travel a little bit because it's easier to understand some of the geography. And for those of you out there who've been able to come visit the winery, you get it more when you can actually sit in the vineyard that produces the wine, look out over it and enjoy it. And it is a whole nother experience, and it's fun. Wine is fun. Wine should be fun.
And I think that was part of what piqued my interest in my education into becoming a sommelier, was that I recognized that my father and the winery is making a fantastic Pinot and Zin and Chards, and that we're getting recognized around the world, world renowned for these wines. But is that true? And once you start drinking through all the varietals, and as you travel, as you just mentioned, I love to travel, and so going to other locations really helps open up your perspective and have a different palate. There are times where I get very comfy drinking our local wines, even these wines or California wines. And once you start drinking Bordeaux or wines from South Africa or Australia, it's just such a different palette that it helps bring it all together and have a more diverse palette to be able to talk about wine and have experienced it. And travel is benefit. So again, R&D.
It's, you know, and you're never too old to stop learning, and everything changes. That's one of the coolest things as well. Being able to be blessed enough, and you grew up in this business in the sense because, you know, in case we weren't clear, her dad is Ben Papapietro, our winemaker. So Julia's been doing this since before she can remember. She chose to take it further, which I think is absolutely amazing and incredible. But you grew up in this. I live here, so I could immerse myself in this and learn more. And it is fun, and you learn something new every day, and every year is different. You can have your favorite wine, and then you go back to that vineyard the next year, and it's different. Right. And then you go back to that older, you know, that other vintage that has changed because it's aged, and it's different. So wine is
blends and vintages and everything. The weather, climate impacts the taste. So when you find a favorite, it's not necessarily a favorite year to year.
No, it isn't.
And these are some of the most consistent wines that I've tasted in verticals, and it's amazing. It's magical.
Yeah, I agree. Your dad's got something. I will tell everybody out there who's congratulating us on research, I love you guys. I think you should definitely let the winery know. Julie and I should continue our research. Well, on that note, we're at her like 30 minutes. So that went by super fast. I'm getting the wrap it up signal. But next week, we're pulling Ben out of his pool. He's coming back to work. We're making him jump on with us because we just released our 2018 Mukaida Vineyard Pinot Noir. Everyone's shipments, if you get this, is going out either Friday or Monday. But Ben and I are going to crack open a bottle because honestly, it's the only time I get to drink this amazing wine. Mukaida is the best barrels of the Peters Vineyard, but him and I are going to be on camera joining this, which will be great. And then in 2 weeks from now, again, if you have visited Healdsburg, there is this amazing restaurant called Valette. And Dustin Valette is the chef this restaurant, and he has agreed to sit down with Ben and I and let us pick his brain and talk about some recipes and some food. And when he does this, his mind goes to food. So where does his mind go? I'm really curious. I'm thrilled. Oh, Simone's going to join us from Mukaida. Of course she is. So think about some pairings. Think about some questions. We love questions. We love you guys joining us. We are so grateful everyone's been joining us. And once again, Kristen with Papapietro Perry, joined by Julia, and cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hey, thank you everybody for joining us. Oh, Ron, Mukaida comes tomorrow. Yeah, that's right.
Thanks, everyone.
Love you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Enjoy.